All of that work, paid and unpaid, needs to be good work. Good work, Lucassen argues, depends on three principles: cooperation, meaning, and fairness. Much as we Americans are enamored of the myth of individual striving and making it on our own, humans have only been able to stay alive and evolve from early hunter-gatherer societies to our modern, complex way of life by cooperating, working together, and caring for each other. That work has also been, in the best of times, a source of meaning, pleasure, identity, purpose. It has furnished us with our daily bread for survival, as well as served as a way to show that we belong in the world, that we matter. In Studs Terkel's book, Working, featuring interviews with more than 100 workers of all types, readers were surprised by the sense of meaning that people derived from their work. It wasn't just the high-profile Hollywood agent, professional jockey, and CEO who had the kinds of jobs people tend to think of as exciting. It was also the telephone switchboard operator, cop, and auto worker who often toiled in obscurity. In my interviews, too, with workers of all types over the years, I've heard the same feelings of pride and meaning in work, whether among exhausted doctors and nurses sacrificing their own health to save lives, or the home care workers who knew exactly what music to play, food to cook, or hairstyle to give an elderly client. It is the same with the shelf stalker who lines up merchandise just so, and cares far more about the big box store where he works than that store will ever care for him. Or the restaurant waitstaff, the majority of whom are women, who deliver service with a smile, both because they want to and because they won't be able to pay their bills on their unlivable $2.13 an hour federal tipped minimum wage, unless happy customers leave them a little extra with the check. When it comes to fairness, in the worst of times, when work is exploitative, a way for the powerful to coerce others and take more of the fruits of their labor, then workers have banded together and acted to balance the scales, motivated by the deep human drive for fairness. Union workers strike for better conditions, better pay, and time in their lives for both bread and roses, as the old protest song goes. Even unpaid workers have joined together in pursuit of fairness. The women and mothers in Iceland, for instance, fed up with persistent gender pay, wealth, and opportunity gaps, famously organized a day off in the 1970s, refusing to do either paid or unpaid work. That left men scrambling to buy hot dogs for dinner and effectively shut the country down. The International Wages for Housework campaign, Black Women for Wages for Housework, and global women's strike groups have been fighting since the 1970s for recognition of the value of the unpaid labor in the home done primarily by women. And overburdened women and mothers who've had it with the unfair and often unspoken expectation that they'll just do it all at home, regardless of whether they work for pay or are the family breadwinner, are more likely to seek a divorce or sever a relationship, even if that leaves them in a more financially precarious position. Finally, I argue that now is the time to change the way we work, that this change is entirely possible, and it's up to us to make it happen. As grueling as the COVID-19 pandemic was, the global disruption showed us just how much work and care could change, for better and for worse, literally overnight. After years of resisting flexible and remote work, insisting it was incompatible with productivity, managers were abruptly forced to make it happen. People who were able to do their work from home began seeing colleagues' laundry rooms, bedrooms, children, and dogs, the invisible side of our lives and unpaid work, through a virtual connection. There was an explosion of digital nomads who worked from wherever they liked. Disabled employees and people of color working from home reported feeling less stress and that their managers and colleagues focused more on the quality of their work and performance rather than on their identity. Though burnout, shapeless workdays, and screen fatigue ran rampant.